One thing I was looking at too yesterday is when you look at just quarterbacks in general, and obviously the young quarterbacks. CJ Stroud had a tough night yesterday, but the quarterback who was taken number one this year has had a struggle over the last 3 to 4 plus games, and that's Caleb Williams. Getting sacked a lot more. What's the offensive line grade? Is it offensive line for Caleb Williams? Is it him just holding the ball too long? What are the grades telling us about why Caleb Williams is in this slump?
Yeah, I think there's no denying the offensive line can definitely be improved. They had the 10th worst offensive line grade yesterday at 63.7. Obviously, 4 sacks allowed as well. But I will say they had the 10th best pressure rate allowed. And I think that kind of goes into another thing with Caleb Williams, that when he was at USC, a lot of people blamed the USC offensive line for not giving him enough time. They actually were pretty good. Caleb Williams, for as amazing as he is as a quarterback, and I'm not taking that away from him, he is a notoriously very difficult quarterback to block for because he obviously tries to dance around back there, hold onto the ball for a very long time. Right now, he's holding onto the ball over 3 seconds average time to throw. That's the 8th longest in the league right now. He breaks clean pockets a lot as well. I think there's some issues with Caleb Williams just playing too much backyard football. Now, again, the offensive line can be improved. I'm not denying that. I think anyone with eyes can see that. But at the same time, I also think Caleb Williams has got to change his play style a little bit. Not obviously take it away, because obviously it's a double-edged sword, because obviously it makes him look great in the first place. But at the same time, tone it down a little bit, because I do think that he's putting his offensive line in tough situations out there.
He's putting his offensive line in some tough situations, but I look at another guy who kind of plays a similar type of game. And you mentioned your fantasy team. Well, I was the guy who decided to say, you know what? He's playing well. His team is playing well. Let's start Jared Goff over Kyler Murray. Let's see how that work out for you. Well, last night I was over there pulling out the actual hair follicles I still have left, which is very slim, none. But I say that, Max, because what is Kyler Murray showing right now? The 2 rushing touchdowns obviously is something that he's still getting out of the pocket, making some things happen, a lot of design runs. But then he's throwing the ball well too. One touchdown throw. What are the grades showing when it comes to Kyler Murray right now and the 6-4 Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah, he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL, honestly. I know going into the year, a lot of people didn't even consider him to be a top 15 quarterback in the league. I never really understood that. I mean, he is obviously, like you just mentioned before, he's an elite rushing threat. And also he's like a top 10 probably passer in the NFL as well, right? So he is such an impressive quarterback. And they're starting to get Marvin Harrison Jr. involved more in the offense now, which is good, because I do think that, when he does become the true number 1 receiver, like we all think he will be, that would unlock a whole new thing in the offense as well. But Kyler Murray continues to be one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. And, that's kind of the what you're hoping Caleb Williams can turn into. I think you make a great point right there, that's kind of the comp that you're hoping for Caleb Williams right now is Kyler Murray. So, I think what he's done for the Arizona Cardinals is pretty impressive. Now, they have some issues on that team outside of him, but I do think Kyler Murray is one of the probably 10 to 15 best quarterbacks we have in the NFL right now.
Yeah, just a couple more minutes here with Max Chadwick, PFF College Football Show, the co-host. And no matter what you're looking for, PFF Plus has what you need to make winning decisions all season long. Sign up for PFF Plus for less than $10 per month, because if you would have signed up for PFF Plus, you would have learned and understood that Sam Darnold is turning into a pumpkin right before our eyes, right? Sam Darnold yesterday, come on. You're watching Sam Darnold in the early parts of the season, and you're saying, okay, the Vikings have something. Sorry, J.J. McCarthy, even through the injury, Sam Darnold is the guy this season. Everything is all well in Minnesota. And then you see the game like yesterday against Jacksonville, and you're saying, if they didn't have a field goal kicker, where would this game have been for the Minnesota Vikings? They find a way to win, but it wasn't because of their quarterback. I know he threw for 241 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. When you look at Sam Darnold week to week, what is the grading of Sam Darnold? Is it pressure? Is it him holding on to the ball, similar to what you talked about with Caleb Williams? What have you seen from Sam Darnold?
Yeah, it's just a roller coaster, honestly. And I think that's kind of what we've seen from Sam Darnold. Obviously, a lot more downs than ups in his career. But now going into a great situation in Minnesota with a great play caller and Kevin O'Connell, obviously great receivers with Justin Jefferson there as well. It's just a roller coaster, right? 56.5 passing grade yesterday. It's just not going to usually get it done. And obviously his team was able to get it done in this one. But it's just a roller coaster. And that's ultimately, the Minnesota a lot of people thought, after their hot start to the year that maybe, they can win the Super Bowl maybe. I just never thought they could with Sam Darnold as the quarterback. And especially with that roller coaster play like that, if that shows up in the playoffs, that's probably where they're going to get bounced in the playoffs, honestly. So you just never know what you're going to get from Sam Darnold. There's something I will not deny. There are some games where he looks unbelievable out there, but there's also games like yesterday where he just didn't look very good. And that's why he's more of like a league average quarterback, even in a great situation like Minnesota right now. So that's probably going to ultimately cap the ceiling for what the Vikings can do this year.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.